Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with RC Cookie on Forza Horizon 5, who has found the lightest plane in the world. Yes, apparently all it takes is a little nudge. I mean, the Jeep Trailcat is a pretty impressive vehicle in general, but it certainly shouldn't be able to push the aircraft around like this. No, that's definitely not right. In fact, can carry said aircraft around like this. Actually surprised it didn't despawn getting pushed that far. Normally stuff like that does, but there we go. French Bagel is up next on Wreckfest. Now they're, minding their own business in this one. Up ahead, a truck goes to avoid an oncoming big rig, gets in the way of the player car, and you would expect the big war digger to fare better. No, it doesn't. The small sports car is the one that very much wins in that particular battle. That one guy up next manages to get themselves punted into, well, not even quite sure how they managed to get put into there. It was a weird collision that fired them backwards. They're now surrounded all sides by concrete barriers that can't move, and a lamppost that's also not going to move. Yep, I am going to go as far as to say that's very, very stuck. A Distracted Lord is up next, also on Wreckfest. Has a little more momentum than the AI car up ahead. Takes a jump, not jump far enough for an aerial overtake, lands sort of on the back end and gets deposited off into the fence. Yeah, that's a failed attempt at a car hat if ever I saw one. I mean, it was an attempt. It was an entertaining attempt, but yeah, doesn't get enough speed sort of difference to do the aerial overtake, and once they get to the corner, it's always going to get dumped off the circuit. Things have not gone well. Not gone well for the van there. It doesn't get reset and everything, but I applaud the effort. As I said many times before, at least if you get a crash, make sure it's spectacular, etc. Sven is up next on asceticcorsa, driving a go-kart up a sort of narrow mountain road. Quite foggy, visibility not great for this one. Unfortunately, a little bit of lag with the clip as well, but the kart runs wide, just a tiny bit wide, and that's it off. That's it having a terrible time, and off the mountain we go. And through the floor we go. We saw a race truck fall off here a few episodes back, but yeah, or a similar sort of thing. Even go-karts can get into trouble on those. Ewan is up next on World of Tanks with, I'll be honest, probably not the best shooting in the world. Not that I'm very good at World of Tanks either. Played it a while ago. It was terrible, but he's trying to take out an enemy tank. Not quite going to plan. Said enemy tank sees them, and is far too busy looking at the player to see where they're going. Yep, that's straight off into the abyss. Well, a teammate almost follows or does follow over, just gets stopped in time. Well, that's why you look where you're going. Ravenscar is up next on Farming Sim, is trying to load up their sort of tractor or whatever, but the bucket gets stuck. For some reason, the physics has just got it wedged here, and wedged in such a way that the tractor can, well, be pushed all the way back. I don't even know what to call it, sort of hovering almost from the scoop. That is quite impressive, actually. It does get itself free, but to be able to have sort of put itself so far back is not bad going at all. We move next on to Train Simulator with still guns, heading out of a tunnel when an AI train is not paying attention to the lights or whatever and decides just to keep on going, doesn't get stopped. And that's going to be a problem because, well, we can't suddenly yank on the brakes and stop immediately. And, yeah, that's not what you need. The thing is, physics, from what should be a not an insignificant crash, but certainly shouldn't do this. No, that shouldn't have happened. I also love that the tail end of the train sort of swipes the front. It's going to go over the tunnel, and yeah, good old Train Simulator physics when trains derail, just everything freaks out. Look at that mess of trains going on. Onto F1 2021 with a Cam, and this is an AI in control of a Ferrari getting things badly wrong. We've seen this a couple of times in Formula 1 games. Basically, while in the slipstream with the DRS open, the AI goes to change direction and just loses the back end of it, and because there are cars directly behind, everything just smashes together. And that is the end of that. I mean, further back here, it's difficult to judge where the cars are going to go, and yeah, the AIs are all stuck together. Big crash for them. Sticking with F1 2021, Fabinator is up next with another race start. Of course, race start always where things are likely to be a little bit more iffy. Everybody is close together, etc. And it's an AI in an Aston Martin that tries to get back into line and fires its way over the back. Quite reminiscent of that Australia crash with Ralph Schumacher that launched over everybody. Just like that, one of those shots is kind of slightly reminiscent of that. But yeah, the Aston Martin tries to get back into line, doesn't, at all, pings off the side of the Ferrari and launches clear over everybody. Could have been a lot worse. A lot more vehicles could have been taken out in that one, to be fair. A little bit like kind of like our next clip. Black and Red 81 on iRacing is playing up against the AI racing at Bathurst and gets a little too ambitious into turn 1. We've all done it. Can't get the vehicle slowed down. Climbs over the side of an AI vehicle. Gets carted around on the back of said AI vehicle and clips another one. They go for a big old launch. Amazingly, only really 3 vehicles are involved in it. It stacks the entire field up, yes, but for a start of race accident, it could actually have been an awful lot worse. But yeah, it's quite an impressive crash. I get the car going again and everything, but yeah, a little too ambitious into turn 1. Gets hooked up with an AI car. And while they're stuck together, of course, the AI car that's leading this is not exactly under a huge amount of control. Big swipe out of the Red Bull car. But everybody else does manage to avoid it. That might have been a little bit of a bump somewhere, but there we go. Yeah, it's an impressive amount of chaos. It's riding on board with one of the first AIs on the scene. Watch the cars getting trailer around, but yeah, does well to survive all of that. And our final clip for today, we have Mike on American Truck Simulator, whose controller has an issue while driving. Everything is going fairly normal. All of a sudden, it locks to the left. They can't really get the thing sorted out to go back under control. Okay, yeah, this is a problem when you have, when you've lost control of your vehicle. The thing is, as they try to sort the controller out, the truck then decides to have a mind of its own. It's all very well having the steering locked one way. It doesn't cause a truck to do this. No, instead what we're going to do is have a breakdancing Volvo. Just to make matters that little bit worse, we're going to fling the truck across the motorway, spin around, and eventually come to a rest upside down. Yes, trailer damage is definitely 100%. It's a very broken Volvo. I think the steering's still locked all the way as well. Yeah, sometimes physics just, makes those things a little bit worse. Hazards a good idea. Yes, we'll put the hazards on while we're stuck upside down. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There shall be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.